Hey, FIBO friends and family. Welcome to the FIBO Focus Podcast. I am Sarah Kiriconi, your host, and I am honored to present this monthly FIBO USA series. This informative and energetic podcast will feature trending topics in the industry and deliver educational insights combined with the stories of our invited industry experts and FIBO fam members. We kick off this series with a jam-packed show about, have you ever asked yourself what FIBO stands for, where it comes from, or how many FIBOs there are in the world? Florian Brauer, Global Brand Manager of FIBO, will walk us through the super exciting FIBO story and give us some insights where the industry is headed into the future. We are kicking off this series of FIBO Focus with the Global Brand Manager himself, Florian Brauer. He's going to take us through the background, the ins, the outs of where FIBO originated from, what it means, and his job as a global brand manager and where FIBO and fitness in general is heading into the future. Florian, thank you for making this time in your busy workday to talk with us and share your insights.
Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to be on this very first FIBO USA podcast.
So everything that turns out great has great roots and origins. Where did FIBO start? What does it mean? And how it's grown over the years?
So FIBO was founded in 1985 in Cologne, Germany, where two bright men had the idea to create a fitness event to serve the industry, the fitness industry, and they wanted to bring together fitness people and bodybuilders, because back in the 80s, bodybuilding became a huge thing in Germany, and they just saw the need for creating a platform to bring together people interested in fitness back at that time. It was originally not necessarily to be a pure trade show, more like an exciting event to go to for people to show themselves and to learn something about the industry.
As part of a community together.
Yes.
And
yes.
you brought up two titles, fitness and bodybuilding, and that's where the name came from, right? FIBO,
Absolutely.
fitness, bodybuilding.
Absolutely. So back then, that's how the name FIBO was created, fitness and bodybuilding. Whereas nowadays, when we look at FIBO and our portfolio, we often play around with that name. Someone at a summit that we organized in Africa actually approached me and asked me, what does that name stand for? And I said, well, originally it's fitness and bodybuilding. And they said, oh, that's interesting. I thought it's fitness industry business opportunity. And I thought, well, that is quite interesting, that you look at us or FIBO in that way, because pretty much that's what we stand for as a whole now.
Where it is a lot of business opportunity, correct?
Sure. This is a big part of FIBO. FIBO is very unique in the way that that we run the show, the main event in Cologne, but also all the other events that we're running across the globe, because we're looking at professionals, we're looking at consumers, and we're looking at education. And basically, when we try to explain what FIBO is and what it stands for, it's these three pillars that we mention and say, okay, this is the FIBO DNA. If you are going to a FIBO, you will always find these three elements.
And name them one more time. It is education,
B2B, so business to business, B2C, and education. And within, let's say, the B2C, so for consumers, enthusiasts, it also always incorporates a lot of activations that we're running that have more a, let's say, fitness festival character.
That is very true. And I think that's a great element. It almost gives the enthusiasts and consumers an inside look as to what's going on. And that creates a lot of excitement and buzz because they're not always able to. And it's a good way to overcome some of the intimidation, which we'll get into in the second podcast. Stay tuned. And it's about getting over that intimidation to really fitness is for everyone.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. and we try to serve everyone. This is also um, the mission that we have, and this is where we are very successful with our show in Cologne. You know, the show is attracting 150,000 visitors every year. It's massive. When you walk the show, there's so much excitement everywhere and for everyone, and that's what it is. I mean, obviously, there's companies that participate in our show, you know, who want to do business, and FIBO is a business platform, um, and it's good to know that for at least for the Cologne show and the state that it's in, that we know that there is a return on investment for the companies coming with us. So this is really important for us. Um, but again, also we want to show every the whole excitement about fitness and everything it brings, and we want to educate people, and we want to um, create platforms where people can learn and learn from each other and network, because ultimately what we're trying to do is bring people together. That is our core mission and our core job.
And I saw that too at the Miami convention last year in 2019. And it's really bringing together a network of like minded health, well being, and fitness individuals who can learn from each other. And there's so many people that I ran into that I said, "Hey, how have you been? You know, I haven't seen you in a long time." And it was a great place to catch up. But it's also a great place to learn new technology, new ways of staying fit, new ways for professionals to evolve their craft in their business. And you mentioned, you know, about Cologne, Germany being the big show, but it's not the only place that you have shows. Can you tell me how many different locations that you do shows and where you're located globally?
It all started with Cologne. We've developed the show over the years with ups and downs, like most uh, shows that we know, and normal products. But in 2014, we actually expanded into China because we saw a big opportunity um, to create something of real value for an uh, let's say a market that is not mature at all, that is still actually in its footsteps compared to the potential that you find in this market. And yeah, that was and we've been running it for a couple of years to see, okay, how is that working. Obviously we needed to take a lot of learnings also about Chinese culture, about the Chinese market, and how to do business, and what we can do for our clients, and how we can help them to make business in China, um, and to become actually a really relevant partner. Down the road, actually set the goal to be present in every relevant fitness market. In 2018, we actually launched our show in the US, which was first in Orlando. Now we moved it to Miami, and we hope we're going to stay in Miami for a long time because it's a great spot for fitness.
Me too.
Um, and also in 2018, we launched a show in Mexico, which is not called FIBO Mexico, it's called Heat MX. We have a fitness show in South Africa, which is called FIBO Africa, where we started with a business summit and then expanded it into a festival trade show. Yeah, we're going to Southeast Asia this year for the first time, for Singapore. Yeah, we're very excited to see how we can develop or help develop the industry down there as well.
Now,
Sure.
your job, I mean, you're talking about a global reach. So you're all over the world. What are some of the challenges you face as a global brand manager for a centrally Germany located company?
Cologne and FIBO Cologne is the mothership of the whole worldwide brand. And my job is basically to connect everything, all the teams that we have around the globe with our mothership, and really give them support and insights about the industry, connect them with industry people who help them create content, and yeah, trying to make sure that wherever we say it's FIBO, we make sure it is actually FIBO and consists of the three pillars.
Now, I
Yes.
would love to know too, because you are in touch with all of these different regions. What are some highlights that vary from region to region when it comes to fitness? Say the US compared to China or Singapore. How does that differ or vary?
I mean, it's a lot about the maturity the markets are in. When you look at the U.S. fitness market, it's what we consider the oldest fitness market, and probably the most mature, maybe along with Europe. But it completely differs from what we find in China. The penetration for people going into fitness clubs in China is still very, very low, even though they have such a high
Population.
population, that it's a significant amount of people training in China, and it's this market is just growing. The fitness market in China is growing with the ability and accessibility of people in China, when they have served their needs. I mean, their food and their housing. They look at themselves and they want to be fit and healthy, and yeah, we want to help them to educate them how fitness works. And I think this differs from the U.S. The U.S. is so big, and again, the market is completely different. Um, the setup of the market is completely different.
Sure, it's a different level, and it's almost the potential reach, especially from a marketing perspective. You have the varying potential reach that what people are looking for from a consumer standpoint, and the I think of it as an Instagram algorithm right now where the engagement drops because the amount of users goes higher. Same thing kind of goes with when it comes to fitness in the United States. There's so many users that you almost have to go very niche in what you're sharing or switch it up and target to the emerging markets, which you've mentioned in China and Southeast Asia, and also I think it's spot on too with Mexico. And now
Yeah.
we kind of briefed into this, but tell me about the future of fitness and FIBO. Where do you see it going?
I mean, the future of FIBO, like I said in the beginning, obviously we want to be present in all relevant, or what we identified as relevant, fitness markets, together with our clients. And clients, I mean exhibitors, I mean visitors, um, also partners, everyone that is a stakeholder in the fitness industry. Um, we really want to create value for everyone. That is the goal, that is the mission, and we're coming in with open arms and say we're very collaborative, and want to achieve something for the industry, and want to create uh, excitement, but also opportunities, um, for business. Again, that's what we stand for. We want to make sure that is one very important pillar. And well, it's hard to say where we go with FIBO, because it's not easy running events, and especially not once you launch into new geographic regions, because the brand FIBO is very, very strong on the industry side. I would say from the supplier side, most of the people have heard about FIBO and have been to FIBO in Cologne. But a single club owner from, let's say, Montana in the US, or from Botswana in Southern Africa, um, or wherever in Mexico, may not have been to FIBO in Cologne. And so it will take some time also to build our portfolio as we have it right now. And we want to do that very carefully and together with the industry. And there's still rooms, or room in certain geographical areas like the Middle East or South America or India to see if there is a place for us and if the industry wants that.
Sure, for emerging markets. And how about fitness as a whole? Where do you see fitness evolving to?
It will be interesting in Cologne this year. For the first time, we have an entire hall dedicated to technology, and we have summits with people speaking about the newest trends and where they see the fitness industry in about, well, I don't know, 10, 20 years. Actually, it's one of the main topics of our of our summit, the European Health and Fitness Forum, which takes place one day prior to the opening of FIBO Cologne. It's the main theme. The theme is 2030. What's happening in the next 10 years? And coming back to your question, I think technology will really change a lot, and it's already happening. And the behavior of how we do fitness and how accessible fitness gets is changing. We can definitely see that.
I think the last line that you said is key because it's really how accessible it is. And FIBO makes fitness accessible for everyone. And also the future of FIBO, accessing and making fitness activated for more people around the world, and makes it almost no excuses in a lot of ways because it's there, you have access to it. It's just the draw and the connection and willpower to do it from a consumer standpoint. FIBO, truly, as you said it's a feeling. It's a wow feeling that is exclusive to none other when it comes to fitness. So Florian Brauer, thank you again for being on this podcast. That wraps up today's episode of FIBO Focus. Thanks for listening, and thank you to Florian for joining me today and giving us some insights on FIBO and everything that's to come into the future. Join us again next month when we talk about how to overcome gym intimidation with AFAA Master Trainer Mara Hoskin. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. Signing off, your host, Sarah Kiriconi. Talk to you in the next FIBO Focus.